It's only
hello.
a quick one anyway.
Oh, I started recording already. You've ruined it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest Two Old Gamers video cast. Thought we might as well just meet up quickly before. I think there's something quite important happening in a week or so, isn't
it? Yeah. Well,
I know you're waiting for your Xbox is turning up next week, isn't it?
Yeah, so I can smash it with a sledgehammer.
Judging from the build quality, I don't think you will be able to. It looks quite heavy.
Well, all the reviews are out. Not that I needed anyone to review a piece of hardware I'm going to buy anyway. And it almost seems a bit silly that they're doing these scoring reviews, and IGN did they're both 8s, but then it sort of was slagging the PlayStation off. It was slagging the PlayStation off.
A score.
Yeah, I know, it's a joke. And then at the end, it was like praising the Xbox for certain features, great, but then at the end of the PlayStation one, it said, oh well, at the moment, because all of the titles pretty much are just cross-generational titles, it's not really shown really that not that it's any good, but you know what I mean. It was sort of mentioning the fact that most of the titles coming out on the PS5 in the next few weeks are cross-generational, like PS4, PS5, and I'm like, well, hold on a minute. How can you give props to Xbox for basically releasing a machine with no new games, first-party games, and then slag off PlayStation, and then go on about how our Game Pass is so brilliant and you can play games made fucking 20 years ago? And then slag Sony off because they've got a lot of their games, they've actually scaled them down from the PS5 versions to create PS4 versions to support their 110 million user console base.
I haven't seen the review, so I don't know the tone of it, but I could understand why they would say that at the moment, because to be fair, that is pretty much any sort of generational console release, going from PS3 to PS4. There were a lot of titles that were PS3 games at launch, which you could upgrade to the PS4 version and got a little bit extra, and it didn't take advantage of the hardware. So I'm sure
well,
there
I don't
are games.
Agree with you there.
Well, no, but there are games it's very difficult. Being an early adopter, being a launch adopter is always very, very problematic, because you're purchasing into the idea of a console.
You're buying into the future of the console.
Yeah, because you know that on day one, that new title that you buy is not going to be as good as the title you buy 2 years later or the end of next year. When it's.
But that's the same. I know what you mean.
No, but I mean, it's just launch.
Just a given, really.
Yeah, no, it's just a given.
I think that if you're bringing out a console exclusive Spider-Man game that's got real-time ray tracing implemented, and you've got haptic feedback and this amazing controller and 3D audio, and a game that from cold will load in 7 seconds, and then when you load your game that you want to play again, loads in 2 seconds, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah, because you want to travel on the train. Well, they got past by having the main. No, but they got past that. What they've done, they've made the main screen him on the train.
Yes, no, they have. They've managed to keep the subway screens in, which is cool.
So
I hope they change as the game goes on.
That you've got Demon's Souls, which is a true exclusive, which we know will come to PC in a year down the line. But I just think that what annoys me is that they're not actually pointing out that Xbox has got fuck all on day one. And don't forget what Sony's got in the pipeline: Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Zero Dawn, and I know that's going to be on PS4 as well. But you can't tell me that's not going to look head and shoulders amazing
No,
compared
no.
to the previous generation versions. There's going to
Have
be a
you?
noticeable difference.
So I mean, the thing about it is, and I mean, this is something we've talked about before. And I know your view, and I'm not by no means sort of disregarding or disrespecting your view, but I can see that
I should hope not.
a lot of the reviews I've seen about the Xbox One and is very, very clear, is that if you take the Series X or the Series S, to be fair, if you need to be, and you like one reviewer gave it a very specific example. You had an Xbox 360 and you didn't have an Xbox One, and you're thinking of this, you know, I might go back, you know, I could go back. Let's have a look. I think the new Series X with the Ultimate Game Pass is a fantastic way to get back into Xbox and also its previous generation, because you're going to get all of the previous generation games running in a way that they never have run before on the new hardware. Likewise, I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you seen the Digital Foundry video on the backward compatibility? So I mean, you know, it's looking, you know, it's looking, but I mean, I can see where Microsoft, they're going for, I like their marketing strategy.
They dropped the ball again, let's face it.
No, I like the marketing strategy of Microsoft. I think their idea of selling the console, the all access thing where you literally are paying monthly for a console and your games just turn up. Now the EA Play is in it as well. It's like, that's not a bad deal for you know, a gamer, you know, for somebody who's not, you know, hardcore, you know, who just comes home, picks up a controller and plays Call of Duty. It's like, it's a good deal. I think they have got a good little marketing strategy.
Well, look, let's face it, Mark. If you're a gamer that's never had a console and don't give a fuck, you might as well buy yourself a PS4.
But no, that's not what I mean. But anyway, but I think Sony have got the goods. That's the problem. I mean, you know, that's the truth. It's like the
Sony have got something which the next gen.
Microsoft are aiming for like your casual gamer, your FIFA player, your.
Can I just summarize it like this?
And Sony are going for the Rolls Royce.
Hold on. So this is how I equate it. Xbox and Sony, give or take, are going to be about the same power. I mean, I've seen this tech guy say that two teraflops of the power of the GPUs being used for their cloud.
Yeah.
Right. So that negates the power narrative. The other thing is this is the other thing that hasn't come to fruition yet, is the PS5 has got elements of RDNA sheds cache tech. The Infinity Cache. Have you heard of that?
No.
There's tech that is in the new, because they know they're both RDNA 2 based.
Yes.
And Xbox are saying, oh, ours is full RDNA 2. Yeah, well, Sony's isn't full RDNA 2 because they beamed a load of things they didn't want. And then they've added their own custom shit in there. And that custom shit is going to be featured on the cards when RDNA 3 comes out, which they've only just released RDNA 2.
Wow.
So just to give you an example of how advanced that Sony stuff is.
Sorry, can you tell me what RDNA is? I've never heard of that before. I don't go into flops like you do.
No, basically the latest graphic cards that are coming out that everyone's losing their shit over are based on RDNA 2 architecture.
Right.
And that architecture enables throughput and graphics capabilities. So RDNA 1 was a certain throughput and everything, and then RDNA 2 is better, right? So the next version that comes out will be RDNA 3.
Right, okay.
But they've only just released the cards for RDNA 2. And what I'm saying is that there's tech that Sony custom built that's going to be employed by the next RDNA 3, there's features that are on the chip. One of these things is this infinity cache, where the GPU and the CPU caches share resources.
Gotcha.
It makes it very efficient.
Yeah. All right.
So all I'm saying is the T-flop thing is irrelevant. It's more the architecture and
Yeah.
bandwidth. You could have, say, a 15 T-flop graphics card, but if it didn't have the bus and the ability to put that data through and stick it out the other end without any blockages, you're not getting. We've all had that on our PCs. There's always been a bottleneck somewhere.
Yeah.
That restricts whatever the bus size and what. I don't want to get too technical, but bottom line is, yeah, there's features that aren't being implemented in the launch games. I agree with that. But as first party goes, you've got, I mean, Bugsnax is a free game. Destruction All Stars.
Not for me.
Demon Souls. You've got Godfall, that's a console exclusive.
I didn't realise that. 6 months.
You're going to have Gran Turismo. What?
Godfall.
What?
Godfall.
Yeah.
It's a 6 month, six month exclusive. I didn't realise that. I thought that was like a Sony. They got it.
It's coming out on the PC, I think.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is when you start listing the number of games that are console exclusive at launch, there's at least a small handful of them. Spider-Man, and you've got the original Spider-Man reduxed with ray tracing and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and
at launch, I'm just saying, you compare the two consoles. For me, there's no. I mean, obviously, Halo hurt them badly, but then they've had a history of promising things. I mean, I've heard of real Xbox guys, and they just got pissed off with broken promises. Crackdown 3, when that came out, it was a pile of shit. State of Decay ran like crap. State of Decay 2 ran like crap, rather. So, they can go and buy up as many studios as they want, but, what matters for people that want Sony, which is, I would say, a bigger majority than people that want Xbox, purely by the fact that their pre-orders sold out in 12 hours compared to 12 weeks when the PS4 was up for pre-order.
I think
says it all.
The thing that I like, me, is like, I like the game, the game of this business, the video game industry and everything. And I like new consoles. I like to see how each company plays off each other, because, competition is good. We don't want Sony to be sat at the top, because PlayStation, we don't want Sony to go back to being PlayStation 3 era Sony.
No, they were arseholes there.
They were arrogant and they got absolutely schooled by Microsoft. But, competition is good. It keeps both sides fresh. It keeps the innovation going. So that's great, because you can't. Nintendo are just off doing their own thing now. So it's like,
my final comment on this is that there are a number of tweets from various people and a lot of them are just saying, the Xbox is a really nice piece of kit. But at the moment, there's no reason to buy it.
No. I think
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think, and I think there is that there's a very specific market of, look, you had an Xbox 360, you haven't had an Xbox One, and you want to see what happens. There's a cheap way of getting a hold of an Xbox with a Game Pass subscription, and it just allows you to have a look.
Let's face it, the best value console is the digital only PS5, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, no, to say that the Xbox, if you can go and get an Xbox Series S and 2 years worth of Games Pass for 20 quid a month, to most people that's nothing. But I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I've got a PC, so that sort of negates the reason to get there. But one thing about the Xbox, right? They're playing it safe. Same UI, same controller, same load of games.
The
PlayStation is like amazing new controller.
so the reviews are it's the best controller ever made.
Right.
But at a price.
Sorry?
But at a price.
Well,
which is what
the
you would
price I
expect.
paid was 59 quid, which is what the G-Shock or
not physical price. When you're using a game like Astro's Playroom, which is using all of the features, the haptic feedback and everything going on, the battery life has decreased. But of course, you expect that. That's not that's not something you're going to go, oh no, that's it. That's a game changer. I have to charge it every 2 hours. I'm bored. That's
fuck me. I have to charge a Switch every hour.
If you use the the features of the controller, then it's going to use the battery. It's obvious. So, it's not a big problem.
Well, that's why I bought an extra controller and I've got a charging station.
So, yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to lie. I honestly, bye-bye. Oh, God. No. Right, cat almost knocked over my precarious tower.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that Spider-Man and all these games were being developed solely for PS5. And I think because of 2020 being the worst year in humanity, I'd like to think that they said to people, make them work on PS4, because there's not going to be as many PS5s, or people might not be able to switch over because they haven't got jobs anymore, or COVID has screwed everything. So I think them making some of their big PS5 launch titles, first party ones, PS4 games as well, it doesn't hurt Sony.
I don't have a problem with that at all anyway.
Sell it that way at all.
Let's face it, you can take a game that runs at 60 frames a second 4K, downscale it for PS4, and it'll run at whatever it runs at.
Yeah. So, I'm probably going to get Miles Morales on PS4.
Yeah, well, you get a free upgrade for PS5 when you get one eventually anyway.
And then I get an upgrade, so that's fine. Yeah. And then, I watched the Digital Foundry video today of Miles Morales, and I mean, the ray tracing is a game changer, and that is like first implementation ray tracing, literally the first implementation of it. So we know that this is just going to get better and better.
Oh,
and better. And I mean, it's like, even now, the tiniest little details. I really appreciate the fact they spent a lot of time on hair, because I thought the hair looked amazing.
Well,
and I don't think new Peter Parker looks that bad now.
If they can create something like Miles, then you're right. Then we've got a really good future.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, and you know me, if I wanted an Xbox Series X, I'd have one on pre-order as well. But I don't see any point.
So yeah, I'm in it. Yeah, I mean, I'm all on board for the PS5, but I'm not getting one at launch, at least. I'm not. I'm going to bide my time and be quite happy with the
as soon as you're in my support bubble, I think on the day that I get it, you get to come over and check it out.
Oh, am I going to be in your support bubble now?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay. Okay. As long as I don't have to come around and stand outside your window and just look at it from through the window.
No, what I'm thinking of, because it takes time for these things to arrive and set up, but you're most welcome to come over in the evening and we can fuck around on it and you can check it out.
And we can have a cuddle bubble. That's apparently what they call them in Belgium. But, yeah, well, I might do that. That'll make me feel amazing about not having one.
No, I'm not doing it to show off.
I know.
I'm offering because I think you'd really enjoy,
to be fair,
checking out what it's like on a real TV screen in someone's house.
And that's something I thought about videos. That literally, this is the weirdest console generation launch ever for both sides. You know, because
Mm.
people are just buying these things. You've essentially bought a console you've never seen and never touched, and at least like in previous generations, there were trade shows. Like we'd go to Eurogamer and you'd see it and you'd touch the controller and you'd get an idea
Did
of
you come down with
physical.
me when we had a PS5, PS4 preview?
Where was that?
Did you come with me when we saw the PS4 at a
Eurogamer.
display event? Was
Yeah,
that Kyle?
I went and saw it. We
No, there's
saw it
another
at
one in central
Eurogamer.
London. Oh,
No, I didn't
right.
go. No, I didn't go. That was probably Kyle. But, but it's weird though, isn't it? Is that essentially these both sets of consoles are launching in a world where everyone's pre-ordered them and never touched them. We're kind of going on. We want it. We just want it, and that's it.
Well, look, as I say, I mean, even watching a video in 4K on Italian and all that is not the same as having the real machine plugged in, outputting to your machine.
Absolutely not.
That's when you get the wow, and also to hold that controller.
Absolutely.
And also, don't forget, Astrobot has got been given a Eurogamer Essential, and that's a free game that comes with the console.
Astrobot. I mean, you and I know from the VR version. I mean, the VR that game is still the one of the defining VR games on PSVR, which leads me on to bit disappointed. It's a bit disappointing with Jim Ryan and PlayStation VR, but it then led me down a train of thought that I'll expand on. Is that so? PlayStation VR will work with all games. Current PlayStation VR games, they're not getting enhanced as such. And like for example, with No Man's Sky, you'd have to have No Man's Sky Next Generation and No Man's Sky PS4 both installed on your PlayStation, because to do the VR
cross-generational fix.
To do the VR, you would have to use the PS4 version in backward compatibility mode, and it was like, oh, that's a bit of a bummer. And Jim Ryan's not very non-committal on VR and in an interview, and it made me think about I've been puzzling over, like, there's not a lot of ports on the PS5 itself, and I suddenly realised PSVR 2 is probably coming, and it will not require a PlayStation 5. It will. I'm going to go on record now. If Sony do a PlayStation VR 2, it will be a standalone unit, similar to Quest. Completely wireless and not requiring a console.
I don't agree. What you need to be aware of is that the PS5 has got a souped up version of wireless built into it. That says to me, I still think they've not revealed everything about this machine. I think PSVR 2 is coming out. It'll be wireless, and it'll wirelessly go bang straight into the PS5. And you've seen these patents to these hand controllers and all this sort of stuff. And with the power of the PS5, they're going to do it because they're going to want to leverage the power of that machine to give you a higher res image that will then transmog onto a higher res screen that you'll get.
Or it will do what the current Quest does, the Quest 2 does, which is that it has a cable, it can link to a PC and it can act as your PC VR headset. But I think PlayStation VR 2 will be able to operate individually and then maybe possibly link into the PlayStation 5 for enhanced.
For Sony to create a VR and not have it link into their PS5 would be commercial suicide.
But the Quest 2 is flying out the door. Facebook have got VR. Facebook has now got VR.
10 million consoles. When you sell 110 million consoles and you've got the opportunity to tap into that market directly by attaching a device to the other device they've already got.
But
that's what they'll do.
But that's the point of the interview with Jim Ryan, is he was saying that there's the comparison of PlayStation 4 consoles sold to VR adopters was disappointing.
I didn't hear that interview, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean,
it'll either be a thing or it won't, will it?
No.
Sorry,
God, I'm dying of thirst today.
Right, so quickly, I just tell you what I've been playing, and I've deleted it now because I said to you the other day, I played a Division 2. I've done the summit numerous times up to level 100. Got all the gear. I did the season pass. No one else was playing it, so I've deleted it because it's a soulless game if you're playing it solo.
Yeah.
So, but then
and
last
also,
Saturday.
Okay.
Last Saturday, I saw that Death Stranding was on sale for 23 quid, and I also thought, oh, I bet that'll look good on the PS5.
That must be getting
Death Stranding.
Must be,
and I really like it now.
That's the other thing as well, isn't it? Is that all these performance patches have started coming out. I've tested a couple, and God of War loads so quick now on PS4, and the there was another one I've got, first party title. Can't remember which one it was now. It's had a patch. Days Gone's had a patch as well, and these performance patches, they kind of recompressed the game for the PS5 SSD, but it's also having a benefit on PS4, which is weird, but I'll take that. Are you kind of yeah, I was going to say, are you kind of treading water at the moment? Because you're kind of in that limbo, aren't you? Where new things are hanging like a donkey, a carrot for a donkey. It's like over there.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Because especially made worse by the fact that you've actually been playing Watch Dogs 2, and that's one of the games that won't be out till the 24th.
No. Oh, is it not out until the 24th?
Yeah. But I am treading water because I can't wait to jump in. I'm going to keep my PS4 obviously plugged in with the VR and everything. But,
is Valhalla out on launch day?
It's a launch game.
You're sorted, mate.
You'll be
fine, won't you? You'll be fine.
Well, actually, that and Planet Coaster. I'm really looking forward to Planet Coaster on console because I got it on PC, but to play on console, sit and just, and it's a cheap game. It's only 35 quid.
Oh, yeah.
And that's coming out on PS4, but that optimized on a PS5 means it will run liquid smooth and beautifully on a PS5.
Oh, no, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Funny enough, Planet Coaster got shipped today because its release date is officially the 10th of November.
You're getting that tomorrow. You'll have a PS5.
Or Monday.
Oh, my God. I just realized you'll have like a PS5 case, a game, the box art and thing. That's quite exciting, isn't it?
All the games and peripherals are coming out on the 12th.
You're gonna get your controller next week and your headphones and
media remote.
Yeah.
Charging station. It's not the official charging station because they sold out, but I bought a cheaper knockoff one.
Oh, that's fair enough.
And a HD camera.
The other thing is, what was it? People have been trying the controller on other consoles. Apparently, it works quite well on a PS3.
I understand they're doing it for clicks and stuff on videos, but it's a fucking waste of time if you're asking me.
Of course
it's meant to be for PS5.
It's like but it's like if you've got this thing and you've got it and it's there and you've
got nothing else to do.
Just try and play with it. People just want to play with it, don't they? I want to try something. I think someone's got it working on the Switch.
I did think because of this lockdown that we're now in. Second one, that they'd released the PlayStation 5 earlier, but I'm thinking that if you got release day, you think how many people are going on the network and logging in and creating traffic and everything, downloading shit day one. That's why they split Europe from the rest of these other countries, because I don't think their servers could take the fucking.
Probably not.
I mean, I mean, it's a
Thank
bit
God.
of a moot point to even review anything because I don't care what the reviewers say about Watch Dogs because I've already ordered it.
So that is that's the beautiful thing as well, is that you see Sony's announcement, was it today or yesterday, that please don't go to a store, a retail store, to try and get a PlayStation on launch day. They will only be sold online because of COVID around the whole world. They're sold out in Japan.
Well, they're gonna in England, the game and people like that are gonna, you prepay it and then you pick it up like a click and collect thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that might piss some people off is that internal storage can't be updated. It's been locked out in the OS initially until they release a whitelist of drives. So,
but so many of the games, so many of the games that are coming out on launch day are 30 to 40 or more hour games. To be perfectly honest, you're not going to want to. I mean, you're not going to fill it up straight away, and if you do,
well, I did that list, didn't I?
Yes, I saw. Yeah, I saw
all
your
the
list,
games I'm getting, I can install. The worst culprit is COD, which is 133 gig. I could probably knock that down by 50 gig by dropping the multiplayer.
Exactly. I think they're doing it so that you can tailor the install to the bits you actually want.
Yeah, I just want zombies and the campaign.
I think it's the multiplayer / Warzone that takes up the space.
No, well, Warzone isn't even out on the new Black Ops, that 133 gig. The reasons why the Sony's gone up is because that they're getting that exclusive zombies mode for a year, aren't they?
Right, okay.
But I think that mode might use the multiplayer maps, so you might have to install the multiplayer maps and zombies as one thing. I don't know.
Got you.
Whatever way you slice it, I'm not going to install the original Spider-Man upgraded version. I'll redeem the code, but I'm not going to install it straight away.
I'm quite happy that I'm going to get there's bonus suits, isn't there? There's new suits for the remaster on PS5, and they're being good guys, and those 2 suits are appearing in the PS4 version as well, just to make everyone.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't make PS4, PS5 versions different from that aspect, should they?
Insomniac are good guys when it comes to stuff like that, so I'm quite happy with that. Yeah.
So okay, so I that's all I've been playing. I played a bit of Death Stranding, and I sort of really like it now.
Have you played Little Hope yet? Did you say you bought Little Hope?
No, I've got it, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh, right, okay. I started playing Until Dawn, and I'm sort of like, I'm at a point where it's like, when's this going to start? I think I'm at the point where things are about to start.
Yeah.
But it was at the moment, it's just all teenagers mouthing off at each other, and I got a bit so like.
No, that game is honestly, that game is brilliant. And let's face it, if you get...
To be fair, even now, it's not PS4 Pro enhanced. There's no patch to improve its visuals or anything. It looks amazing still. It looks really, really good. So,
well, the Digital Foundry thing was finding out that most games, if they were running at 30 frames or 40 frames, they're now running at 60 frames on the PS5.
Yeah.
So that makes that list of games that they're going to release for people, that greatest hits collection for free on PSN.
Oh, the PS collection, yeah.
That includes Days Gone, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
And it includes Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Now, if they're included a certain list of games there, they must have tested them out on PS5, mustn't they?
Yes. But they're saying that the backward compatibility is a lot better than they thought it was going to be anyway. It's like 99% of PS4 games work.
It's not just that, it's the improvements they're seeing in the games. Like massive improvements and running at solid frame rates. So that's enough of the hardware talk. As you say, I'm actually in limbo. I agree. I'm totally in limbo.
So
and
I took my time.
I
took my time, but I finally finished Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Earlier this month, and that was brilliant.
Did you platinum it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I got the platinum. It's all done, dusted, moved on. Then I went on one of my little PSN global tours and found that they were selling the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition, which is the one with all the season pass.
There's a ton of content in that.
Full of all of the DLC, and
Yeah.
also Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which is essentially 2 games in itself as well. Got all of that for £7 in Brazil. £7 in Brazil.
Well, all right.
I had to do a little bit of work and do some little purchasing of game cards in different places on the internet, but for £7, Assassin's Creed Gold. So I had to start playing Odyssey all over again, because I was 30 hours into it 2 years ago. Booted up my save and just went, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I started again. I've managed to work my way up to where I was, and I've stopped playing again. But I will go back to it because it's amazing. Very, very hard going from Ghost of Tsushima combat to Assassin's Creed Odyssey combat, which is more like Dark Souls, using the shoulder buttons to attack. I've had some very challenging moments where I want to parry in the way that I would do in Ghost of Tsushima and just completely die because I'm playing the wrong game in my head.
That's what I find, is that if I get a big game, I have to bury myself in it, because like I had that with Assassin's Creed Origins. I started it, came away from it, went back into it, didn't know the controls, kept dying, and it pissed me off.
Yeah. I think also...
But you're right. Sometimes you have to go back to the beginning and go, oh, fuck it, I'm going to start it all again.
But also, 2 years ago, I was on a PS4, original launch PS4.
Yeah.
To now go to Odyssey from the beginning on a Pro in 4K with HDR is like...
Looks amazing.
Oh, right. Now I get it. This game's amazing.
Yeah, that's why when I got it, I was like, this is one of the biggest surprises ever, was that how good this game was.
So
because we did at that time, we had no idea how good that game was going to be.
No. I mean, Origins was good.
I went to a game show and I didn't even look at it.
Yeah, Origins was good, but Assassin's Creed Odyssey, from the way Ubisoft showed it, just looked like more Origins, and I think there's a real disservice to it because it actually turned out to be more Witcher 3 than any other Assassin's Creed game ever.
That's why I'm so excited for Valhalla.
And Valhalla looks off the chain. It looks like that doesn't look like a 100-hour Assassin's Creed game. That looks like a 200-hour Assassin's Creed game. It's like
and I did spend over 100 hours on the other game.
And the Irish add-on DLC that they're going to do later on, and Paris as well. And and they're going for it. I
bought the gold.
It's very difficult. It's very hard because I know that people are very against Ubisoft at the moment due to their internal practices and things that are going on internally in that company, right or wrong. But damn, they make good games. I'm really sorry, but I enjoy the games they make. So
I love them. I love Assassin's Creed. I love Far Cry. Not so keen on Breakpoint. I thought that was a bit that I got that, and I'm like, nah, it's shit.
So the other thing I should point out is that Ubisoft have changed for the dawning of the new consoles and everything. They ditched the old Ubisoft Club and they've integrated it into all platforms called Ubisoft Connect. The thing with that, what they've done with that, I didn't realize, is that they've taken, all the rewards that you could earn in games, all their old games, they've just handed out all the rewards for free. So I looked at Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I've got 58 rewards stacked up, cosmetic items, boosts, and whatever it was you could buy.
That's good.
Just literally all dumped in there now. When I loaded Watch Dogs 2 up, and literally it spent 2 minutes telling me everything that unlocked when I started the game, and I thought I haven't done anything, but it just because Ubisoft have unlocked everything now. I
must admit, the only thing I paid for in Odyssey in terms of cosmetics was for Pegasus, flying horse, because that horse, it doesn't fly, but you can jump off of any height and it won't die. And that was really worth for me to have. Plus, it was so cool to have a winged horse.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been.
Yeah. So you've got Watch Dogs.
So I was not going to get Watch Dogs.
Why did you get it?
Well, I'll be honest. It's because
Yeah, I always like you being honest.
Cyberpunk got delayed. That was my
Yeah.
because I'm trying to keep one game a month, and
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was coming out this month, and I thought, right, well, that's the game that I'm getting this month. But then they delayed it, and then I'm also now particularly worried about Cyberpunk. I don't know if it's going to make December date. I don't even know if when it comes out it's going to be everything it's promised to be. I think it's possibly not.
Yeah, because they said that the next gen versions they haven't got a problem with. It's the versions below that are the issue. So that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Is that the PS5 and Xbox versions aren't the problem? It's the lower, because they've probably implemented lots of extra stuff into the next gen versions, and then they've gone, oh Christ, we've got to back scale this now to the other machines.
Absolutely.
And they've got a lot of machines to think about.
So
carry on.
Legion. Up until I'm going to say I think this is my favourite game of the year, and
because this has had mediocre reviews from some people, isn't it? Saying that was the same old Ubi thing, and
yes, it is, and yes, it's cookie cutter, and yes, it's blah blah blah. But for someone who goes into London a lot, and for not being able to go into London this year, having this recreation of London, I literally spent the first 6 hours in game just walking around London going, oh look, that street does lead down to Covent Garden, and oh, that bit's not really there, but never mind. And then, oh, I'll go to Leicester Square and I'll go round to the foreign entrance. Oh look, there's Brixton Academy. I think I sent you a picture of their version of Brixton Academy. I was like, this is brilliant.
Your feet would have been worn out if you did that in real life.
Oh, it was just amazing. So, and then you get into the actual game itself, and I like the Watch Dogs games because I like the fact that you go to, I always used to love in the first one, you go and you go to a place and you've got to hack a computer, and I used to sit outside hidden behind a van and just hop between cameras until you found where you needed to be, hack it, and then disappear, and you never even entered the restricted area.
I did like the first one better than the second one.
Oh yeah.
I finished the first one. I never finished the second one.
So so this one's brilliant. I mean, I just love everything about it. So it's no secret that what you do in this game is there's no character you play. You are recruiting people from all of the NPCs in the world.
No, Bandit, get out. Sorry, I've got to get the dogs out. They're near my wire. Get out. Buddy. Out. Sorry. Out. Gone.
So, yeah, so you recruit from everyone, and everyone's got a job, but each job comes with certain traits as well. So, like, I've got a hacker there who's got good, she's better at hacking. She can do a shock hack, which electrifies people. She can download key cards from any range. She doesn't need to be near it. And also, every time you hack something, you steal a little bit of money. Ito is the currency. So she's quite handy. Then I've got things like a construction worker. He's the
drone that you can ride, isn't he?
He's got a drone you can ride. He's got a nail gun. Got an animator who's got a nice motorbike and a baseball bat. Street artist that has a unique paintball gun as a weapon. But then you start getting into some of the passive skills that are really interesting. Is that I've got these guys here. I've got a barrister, and one of his skill, of course, is if your team, any member of your team is under arrest, they're unplayable for a couple of hours. But if you've got a barrister in your team, he'll get them out. Whilst you're playing another character, he'll reduce the police time. Likewise, the politician will help with shorter arrest times, and then the barrister shortens that time even more. So it's there's a level here that's going really clever.
You're actually playing with bugs, aren't you?
Sorry?
buffs.
Yeah.
You're playing with
Yeah.
gameplay buffs, aren't you?
So like with Rogue Legacy, you know, that game Rogue Legacy, where you selected a knight and every generation of knight had a different trait. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. You didn't know what you were getting. Like, so here's a politician. She earns me more money for each time we sign somebody onto the team, but she can't run. She's an old lady.
So
But
do you
she's
keep
armed,
these
but she's
people
armed to
in
the
your?
teeth.
So if they're in your team of DedSec operatives, you don't really have to use them. You can use their passive buffs.
You can use some of their passive buffs. They also have their own schedules. You know, you can be playing another operative and bump into one of your other operatives out on the street because, and then, but also I'll point out there's something here. You can see there's associates halfway down, and she's got a suspect, she's got a trainer, she's got a granddaughter. Each character, each person in the game has people who they're associated with in good ways or bad ways. Like a gambling addict might have a bookie or something like that. You can then go and help those people, help your operative by befriending other people or taking care of a bookie, you know, beating them up or something for them and helping them. So
have you got the tool that allows you to give you deep analysis of these people now?
Yes, I have.
That's what I've heard.
That's essential.
Early on.
Yeah, that's pretty much the first thing I saved up to buy. So there's loads of different. There are loads of different types of characters. So like if I go down here,
how many can you have?
About 20 to 25, I think. So at the moment, these are the people that I want to recruit. So I haven't. I've singled them out for something. I think this guy.
Look really good, don't they?
Yeah, no, they're good. Oh, here you go. Look. So here's a protest leader. This guy's a protest leader. He's got a megaphone, which means that he can call a crowd of people around. All the people around him will turn on somebody targeting you. Right. So I need to recruit him. So at the moment, what I can then do is bring up his schedule. So I can see that he protests at a university, then he goes to sleep in a street somewhere, goes out, he meets a journalist. You can investigate those points and meet them up with them and try and break it, you know, introduce yourself to them, help them out with a mission or a job they may have, and then they'll be willing to look at DedSec, joining DedSec.
Does it put a waypoint on the map when you investigate it?
Yeah.
Right.
So if I
where is your man standing, by the way? He looks like he's about to jump off a bridge and commit suicide.
He stood on the edge of a bridge.
Right.
But I mean, yeah. So and all of the
you've got permadeath on that.
I have, and it's the only way to play it. Because when you lose a character and they're dead, you feel bad. You feel like, oh, I've worked so hard to get that person, and now they're gone. So so I haven't really played the game properly. I've just been doing these sort of like little missions and things like that. So this guy I've got here, he's trying to help another police officer. So in order to help him, he has to go into a police station and wipe some records. Right. So because this guy, one of his skills, if I bring up the skill tree, is he's actually a policeman himself. Which means,
so you can get in without any subterfuge.
Well, what I need to do though is I need to change into my uniform. And now, so now I'm a policeman.
And you're policing a bridge at a stupid height above the city.
Well, no, because I was literally on the edge of the restricted area. Okay. I know our connection is not great, so it won't stream very well. But now I can walk around, and I can actually walk around the police station and get to the computer I need to get to, hack it, and disappear. But if I was playing as a different character, I'd have to infiltrate it, knock people out.
How would you rate the graphics of the open world?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. even at night it comes alive. And this is without ray
What,
tracing. This is without ray
is this
tracing.
1080p or what?
Sorry?
Was it 4K?
I think it's not. I don't know what. I think it's not running at
It's
true.
4K?
No, it's not running at 4K. It's running at that sort of like little. I can't remember what resolution it is. The one that PS4 Pro usually runs out at checkerboard.
Checkerboard. Oh, all right, 1440p.
Yeah. So let me go away from this. Oh,
They've
God.
put a lot of ways to get into buildings, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah, and there's like there's
Obviously.
just,
Oh, that's good. You can climb up and down the drain pipes.
yeah, you can do. There's the world is as open as it was in previous Watchdog games.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I don't know. There's so much to do. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think.
Oh, you can arrest people.
Yeah. So as I'm a policeman, I've turned on pacifist mode, so I can actually arrest people rather than just beating them up. So that if I, yeah. I'll try and do this. So
don't spoil your character for the sake of this demo.
There you go.
Because you probably spent hours trying to get him.
I think I just arrested somebody. But then I can let him go as well. But he won't be happy with me now.
She's not happy about it.
But he's a bookkeeper.
You let him go.
Yeah, and also in the world you come across people who. I came across playing as a character. I came across a security guard that I had previously beaten up in another mission. I didn't know that was that guy, but he remembered me.
Yeah.
And he started chasing me out of nowhere and beat my character up. And it's like, what's going on? And I realized it says, he's an adversary. He doesn't like you. It's like the nemesis system and the the ally system all rolled into one. But hang on, I've just hacked a drone. Just hacked a drone.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, look, I can just go down.
Obviously, this stream's a bit pony, but on your machine, it looks amazing, does it?
Looks amazing. Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing with HDR on it as well. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I know you're going to be interested in is if I go to the map and go to my headquarters and go, hang on, fast travel, we now have to sit and wait for a loading screen. Now I know that you are literally just going to go, boom.
That'd be cool. That, I think, out of all the things, is a thing. When I actually saw Spider-Man load from the main menu in 2 seconds, I'm like, wow.
The other thing about this is that all of the train stations and things are right. That everything looks good. Looks how it should be. I'm gonna come out of here.
Can you go down the station and see a train and get on a train? No.
It literally, all the train stations end at the pay gates and it goes into the fast travel screen, which is a bit of a shame. But it maybe they'll add undergrounds later on. I don't know. Right, let me just leave the boozer.
Yeah.
And I'll show you where I am.
People not in the UK think that everyone is in the booze all the time, don't they?
So in all the propaganda, all the sort of advertising for this game, you see like all the London monuments with all this harsh neon advertising all over.
Yeah.
That's part of the game. Is that the military company running London have put all of that on there, and as you rescue boroughs, you remove it all and bring it back to London back to its former glory. So
oh, that's cool.
So the House of the Parliament and the Wheel are now back to normal. But yeah, I mean, I can't show it off properly on stream, but it is a phenomenal game. Online isn't available yet.
What's your favorite? What are your top 3 favorite things to do in it?
I mean,
the missions good?
The missions. I have played a couple of missions. I've played about. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. any game that you play where you realize you're not actually doing the missions, you're doing essentially the sub missions. I'm not pushing the story forward. I have done a couple of story missions and they are very satisfying. I've done one major story branch that turned into a very bizarre little story as well. So it's still got its roots firmly in Watch Dogs with like technology and where we're going with technology and things like that.
But they've still created an amazing sandbox.
Yeah. The world, I mean, like, so the world doesn't feel possibly as alive as Watch Dogs 2. I think water animation is a bit rubbish. There's no splashes or things like that. I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey probably had more, wildlife and things like that. But this, as London, and we all love London. For me, it's beautiful. It's like it reminds me of the city. I wish there was a way in this game that you could do the fast forward time, like you can do in Odyssey, where you can meditate and it skips forward 12 hours. You literally have to wait for it to go like night and dark. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, oh look, here we go. And there's even like football. There's a keepy uppy football game that you can play.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Lots of challenges and. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like everything that.
Have you been in the Buckingham Palace yet?
Yes, there was a mission early on that makes you go into Buckingham Palace.
Is the Queen there?
No, you can't enter the building. You can only go outside. But yeah, I think as a Watchdog game, it's brilliant. The thing that's missing from it is online. There's no online game at the moment, because I mean that's what I used to love about Watch Dogs, was that you would be invaded by other players as you were playing the main game. But that apparently the online launches in December, which is probably better for this game anyway, because they're releasing in two generations with a very
that multiplayer.
Yeah, so get it all out on all the platforms and then get the multiplayer working. But
I mean, they announced that multiplayer co-op via internet is not going to be there at launch, but couch co-op will be.
Right. So I think the biggest easiest review I can give of Watch Dogs Legions at the moment is I got it on Thursday last week when it came out, and the next 3 days in a row I played this game until about 3:30 in the morning every day, because I literally can't put it down.
Right.
Time flies by. It's just, I really like it. It's right up my street. I love the system.
It's good that Cyberpunk got delayed, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's good that Cyberpunk got delayed. Yeah.
There you go. Look, I don't think.
And you get a free upgrade.
Oh look, I've just realised something. I can answer your question. The flag is not flying over Buckingham Palace. That means the Queen is not at home.
Right. Okay.
There you go. I haven't found Downing Street actually. But yeah, so
I did say to you, you probably cribbed a lot of the map from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, because that would have had a lot of architecture already built, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. I think I think they probably had a good starting point, but it is very much
I'm looking forward to playing it though.
I think you're going to enjoy it. I think it's a great game now.
A week after all the other games come out anyway, so.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and it's got that kind of sci-fi neon look to it at night, which makes you kind of ticks the cyberpunky type thing that you want. But yeah, it's such a good game. I'm probably gonna, when the season pass drops down a little bit, I will probably pick it up and
yeah, because you get to play as Aidan Pierce, don't you?
Yeah, but also if you get the season pass, you get Watch Dogs Original as well, which I actually don't own anymore. So
oh right. I'm not
And
fussed about that stuff.
that's always nice as well. But yeah, no, there's,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I've been very surprised with Watch Dogs Legion, and also in the midst of a new lockdown and everything, it's nice to be able to go to London this year at some level.
So do you think that the PS5 with ray tracing is going to look amazing?
Yes. Well, I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of videos because the weird thing with this is, of course, is it's already out on PC, and the PC on the high end cards is already doing all the ray tracing. So yes, it already, you know, I know from the PC version, it looks incredible with ray tracing, particularly when, you know, with the rain and the lights.
I'm really interested to work out what Ubisoft are going to do with the PS5 DualSense as well, in terms of rumble and how they, especially Assassin's Creed and things like that. Imagine if you get a really good rumble when you like smack people with, you know, swords and stuff and axes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, they've developed this amazing little controller again, haven't they? They've got this amazing controller, which is, it's like Nintendo trying to explain their HD rumble in the Switch by showing a glass of ice cubes and shaking it. It's, oh, it feels like this. Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't felt it. I need to, you know, I need it in my hands to understand what that is.
By all accounts, the HD rumble is no comparison to the Sony one. The Sony one, they say, is a real game changer. It's really, really amazing. Like, so much that there's stereo effects. So in the handles themselves, if there's something on the left, you actually feel it on the left of the controller rather than the right of the controller.
All right.
And one guy said when the wind blows sand at you, it actually feels like sand is running through the controller. That's amazing, and that's why I'm so excited to get the new thing and try all this stuff out.
Ian posted on our group the other day the video, but something else. I don't know if you've got it pre-ordered, but the PS5 version of Dirt 5 looks amazing as well.
Oh, does it? No, I haven't got that pre-ordered.
And they're using the controller to sort of like feel the terrain through the controller or something like that.
It's got a lot of good reviews. Really good. Everyone says it's like a good arcade racer. It wasn't really on my radar at all, but I am concerned about initial storage capacity because of all the games I've already got coming online.
What have you actually pre-ordered? So
Day one, I'm getting Demon Souls, Spider-Man Morales and the original, Call of Duty, Cold War,
right,
Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Sackboy's Adventure, Godfall.
Oh, right.
I think then later on, and obviously Planet Coaster. That's 8 games.
Astro's Playroom built in. That's 9.
That's 9, right? And then I've
Bug
got
Snack, because you've got that.
Ride 4 coming next year, right? The motorbike game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I got that for like 36 quid or something on pre-order. Dirt cheap, much cheaper than the PS4 version.
That's good.
And obviously Yakuza Like a Dragon coming out 2nd of March.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's really pissed me off because it's probably good because otherwise I just end up playing that all the time.
Yeah.
That's coming out March, and obviously they've delayed Far Cry 6, which will be a definite day one for me as well. Next year, April, May, or whenever it is going to come out now. And then we got Cyberpunk. We got Cyberpunk as well, and then we've got Horizon Forbidden. It was whatever it's called, whatever the new Horizon Dawn, and they reckon God of War. They reckon God of War 2 is going to be out like June, July next year. It's that close. It's not like years off. And Gran Turismo, they reckon, is going to be out in the second quarter of next year.
Did you actually finish God of War 1, the first one?
No, but I'm pleased because then I can slap it on my PS5 and play it with even better frame rates.
Yeah. No, and I've only got sort of like about a
Days
quarter of the
Gone,
way through.
and Days Gone.
Mm.
So that and Death Stranding. So there's a few PS4 games I will be putting on there, but they'll go on there once I've spent 200 quid on a terabyte upgrade.
Well, yeah.
But as I said to John, the least the money you spend on the, even though it's going to be a lot of money, at least the money you spend on it doesn't negate the original memory that you had.
Mm.
Whereas with a PlayStation 4, you take the old drive out, chuck it away, or do whatever you want with it, and then you put the new one in. So if you buy a terabyte upgrade, you're only getting 500 gig in the old method. If you buy a terabyte now, you're going to have 1.67 gig or whatever.
Mm.
So I think I could get away with a 1 terabyte, but if they're not available and there's more of the 2 terabytes available at a stupid price, then I might have to just say fuck it and go for one of those.
Mm.
I'll be totally future proof then. I can just chuck everything on it. I
I
love the
think,
UI. Well, the PS5 looks really interesting.
since I put, so basically my old 2 terabyte hard disk that I had in my PS4 internally, when I got the Pro, I couldn't be bothered to do all that again. I wanted to get going. So I left it and I put it in it. I put the drive in a USB-free caddy, and I've got that, and I've got that plugged in, so it's extended storage. And people say, oh, it's USB, but because it's USB-free, I don't actually notice load times being that bad. It's not.
Well,
but to have 3 terabytes of storage.
They're saying for PS5, if you want to put PS4 games on it, just get yourself a cheap USB external drive.
Yeah, I think
I've got loads of them sitting under my cupboard here that I don't use.
Yeah, I think a USB drive on is going to be fine for that stuff like that. Or even like if you wanted to use it as like a store, if you didn't want, like, if me, I've got not great internet, you could use the drive essentially as an archive, and when you want to go back to a game you've not played, move it from OneDrive back onto the SSD rather than having to re-download it all again.
Do that. They did. I think they mentioned that PS5 games can't actually be put onto an external drive
at launch.
They have to put on the SSD
at launch.
But they can be put on the SSD if you expand it internally. But at the moment, they actually showed that apparently they had this NVMe drive that they put in, and the Sony machine says turn off your machine, take the thing out. It won't work. They put a physical block so people can't put extended drives in yet, because maybe there's requirements. Maybe it has to have a heat sink. Maybe it has to have a certain thermal rating. I don't know, because it's going to be enclosed.
Maybe they want people. Maybe they want people to go out there and say how good their SSD tech is first, before people start shoving in God knows what they found on Amazon in a caddy and go, well, it doesn't load that well. It doesn't load that well. I'm sure it's
a valid point. Yeah.
They've spent a lot of time on this SSD tech, getting it lightning fast, and I'm sure they pretty much don't want everyone just to destroy it by using their own bloody hard disk on it. Because
I know at some point I will want The Witcher 3 reinstalled so that it takes account of all these graded features that they say they're going to put into it. Although, to be fair, if I wanted to do that, I could load it on my PC.
That's true.
And I do own it. So, as I said to you the other day, I was toying with the idea of buying a CD key of Like a Dragon and putting it on the PC. But then I thought, well, I'm only going to play it for a few days, and then the PlayStation 5 is going to turn up, and then I probably won't touch it until the other one gets released anyway.
I think it'll be hard, but I think you'll be just wait.
And there is a rumor. I'm sure I said something. They said this is interesting. They said on Xbox Series X, it does 4K 30 frames a second, right? But Sony, they reckon it's going to do 4K 60 FPS. That's a shocker. Yeah, that would be a shocker.
So people have started posting screenshots from Assassin's Creed Valhalla because people are getting early copies.
What, on PS4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still looks good.
Oh, it does look great. It looked great. Look, let's face it, Odyssey looks fucking amazing. And as I said, it'll probably look very similar, but it'll run at 30 FPS instead of 60 or whatever, or it'll have a slightly downgraded res. But at the end of the day, we can talk about all these things till our ears fall off. But basically, what counts is how the game feels and plays and the content.
Absolutely.
But you know me, I always like getting new tech, and it's my treat to myself. So I haven't been away on holiday or anything like this year, and so why not? Fuck it,
Absolutely.
So I'll keep my PS4.
Absolutely.
I probably won't put any games on that from the PS4. I reckon Observer's going to, the Redux of Observer.
Oh
That looks
God, yeah. Oh,
well,
that'll turn up.
That'll be on PSN, I think. I think that's
Well,
available
hang
day
on.
one from the store. It's available day one from the store, but I think it will be eventually it'll be a PSN game. Do you see that Destruction All Stars is going to be a PSN game in February?
Yeah, plus, yeah.
So you haven't got, and that game looks fun. But I wouldn't buy it, but it looks fun.
Bugsnax. I thought Bugsnax got a big following after the launch trailers and things like that. And for them to do it, it's interesting that what they've done is it's this month's free PS Plus game for PS5 owners, but PS4 owners have to buy it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's not free on PS4. It's only free on PS5.
I feel really sorry for the people that have.
But you can still do that normal thing of just bank it. You can claim it now.
Oh, that's all right.
Hang on, I'm just trying to look at where's coming soon.
So quickly, the PS app's very good, isn't it? I looked at that yesterday. You said that was very good. I checked it out. It's cool.
The new PS app is brilliant.
It's got a thing that when you migrate over to your PS5, you can use the app with a barcode or a QR code with the camera, and it will recognize it and it automatically update all your details instantly for you.
Yeah.
Which is whether I'll use it or not, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I was expecting to be in hospital all this time, and that's not happening now because of COVID. I probably won't get into next year now. So I can have plenty of time to enjoy my PS. This is the other thing. Another game I forgot to tell you about is on the 3rd of December. I'm getting Immortals Phoenix Rising, which looks bloody good fun as well.
On PS5?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I know it's coming out on Switch as well.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but I can't decide what I want it on.
I think you'd be better off get it on Pro because that looks like a really.
I think it looks very pretty. So I think maybe Pro is the way to get it. So I'm just trying to find out because I know that the Epic Games Store was doing an upgrade tree for Observer Redux.
Yeah, there is one. Yeah, you pay 80% of the price and you get it. But I haven't got ray tracing graphics card on my PC.
No, but it's like, so if when's it coming out on
19th?
PC?
I don't know. Sorry, is it the 18th or the 19th? It's 12th. No, 19th is the date.
So it comes out. So Observer System Redux comes out on PC on November 10th.
Right.
So that'll be on the PS5 store on launch day for. Well, it's $23.99 on PC.
I'm thinking, how big is it? It's going to be quite a big bit of giggage. It's at least 20 plus.
It's saying here on Epic Games for PC that it's 16 gig storage.
Oh, that's not bad.
But I mean that is PC, so I don't know what that means.
I'm sure it'll look amazing on the PS5 anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the trailer looks amazing.
I think Sony are going to be scrabbling around for free PS5 games on PSN.
Oh,
They're going to want to offer.
Don't forget in
So
your list in your list of games that you need to put on day one, No Man's Sky Next Generation.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't play that. But it does look good. I saw the trailer. It looks fantastic. Looks fantastic.
But no, yeah,
Are they bringing out a PS5 version of that though?
What? No Man's Sky?
Will it be a PS5 version, No Man's Sky Next Generation, or will it be a PS4 game played via backwards compat?
No. That's what I said. They're doing it. The trailer they released is for the next generation version of No Man's Sky.
Oh, right.
And if you want to play No Man's Sky on the PS5 in VR, you also have to install the PS4 version, which to play the VR version in PS4 backwards compatibility mode, but the PlayStation 5 version will be its own version.
Oh, now will I get a free version of the PS5 version if I already own?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll get that. How big? That won't be a big download, will it? 10 gig?
So I think at the moment, No Man's Sky on PS4 after the new update is about 16 gig.
Wow, because when it came out, it was 6 gig, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
they've added a lot to that.
So much added to that game now. Yeah, so it's yeah, I think it's out. It's out soon. I'm sure it's out on launch day.
Oh, and this light, it makes my head look totally hairless. But I do have hair on my head. But
is it out? Yeah, free upgrade for millions of existing console players. An impactful graphical upgrade on next generation consoles. All graphical upgrades available on a high-end PC player too. Save game transfer and upgrading launching day one on all next-gen platforms.
So will that be 40K 60 FPS?
So it's new worlds, full of worlds, 32-player multiplayer rather than at 12. 4K at 60 frames per second. Ultra visuals, base building, much larger base building. Warp speed load times are 5 to 10 times faster. Cross play with all platforms, including previous generations. So on your PS5, you'll be able to play with me on my PS4. And you'll be able to just upgrade for free.
After and stuck near my base.
Hold on a moment. PlayStation 5 haptic controls, from the satisfying feeling of firing your bolt casters to the gentle nudge of building parts slotting into place. Haptic controls allow players to feel immersed, and also PlayStation 5 advanced audio. Thanks to PlayStation 5's Tempest 3D audio tech, players will be able to soak in the ambience of an alien planet like never before.
This time next week, I'll have my new headphones.
Oh yeah, be interesting to see will they work on a PS4. I would like to see if it's like a dongle or anything like that, or if it's just wirelessly into the console.
No, it's a dongle.
Is it? I don't know.
I think what we need to bear in mind, right? It's like we're talking about these consoles and nitpicking and everything, but at the end of the day, this PS5 with that UHD 4K Blu-ray drive, which I will be using a lot, is $499. UHD 4K Blu-ray drives on their own were 200. They're still like 229 quid.
Yeah.
So you look at the value proposition that you get for a PS5.
Oh, yeah.
It's astounding how much you're getting for the money.
Oh yeah, no.
And that includes a controller that's 60 quid. Right?
Yeah.
So take the 60 quid. So you're getting the console for 440 quid.
Ooh. Oh, I just saw a piece of news that reminded me of something. Unfortunately, with the times that we live in, there is one company that seems to be suffering more than others. So Sega has sold off their arcade division.
Yeah, I saw that.
And also they've just asked 150 employees for early retirement. So we don't want Sega to go down the drain because they make our favourite game. But should anything happen to Sega, I'm sure that Ryoga Gotoku would be picked up by Sony or someone to make Yakuza games.
That would be a coup, wouldn't it? If Sony bought RGG Studio, that would be a studio I'd buy.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that the next game they announce will either be
Judgment 2,
a localization of one of the Samurai games, and or Judgment 2.
I think it'll be Judgment 2.
The Judgment was did you finish that? I bet you didn't.
No,
did you?
no.
Brilliant game.
I think Judgment now takes the action fighting route over the Yakuza 7's role-playing route, so it branches off nicely.
They created a really nice world and tone and look to the world, and the mini games are really good as well. The drone racing was fantastic fun because it elevated you up and looked at the 3D model of the city, and you flew through it at high speed.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah,
really good. Judgment is a top game.
Well,
so
I think
this makes my
really we need to just now sit tight for a couple of weeks and wait for us to make a support bubble.
Well, you're welcome to come round the evening that I get it, because I think that you should come round, and we could maybe record an audio podcast.
Yes, because I'm not going to do that thing of spending all day around your house for your delivery to not turn up until 4 o'clock, and then I have to go home anyway.
I think it turned up about 3 o'clock, didn't it?
Yeah, it turned up, but then you had to install the hard disk and install the operating system. So I think I basically saw you turn on one game.
Think it was Black Angel in the evening.
No, I had to go. So when everybody turned up in the evening to play it after work, I was literally on my way out the door, and everybody played it, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I had to go home.
I know.
Oh dear. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward.
That's why I said the evening.
No, I'm not making that mistake again. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks. It's going to be really interesting to see how it all pans out. How two major consoles
lots of
launch.
Reviews of the game. Demon Souls is going to get a review. You know, all the launch games are going to get reviewed.
That was the other thing. I read somewhere that now that people are playing Demon Souls, it turns out that Demon Souls doesn't actually have ray tracing in it.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I can't believe that, because that game looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely incredible, and it's not even using ray tracing. My God, if they actually enabled that on it, it would be insane.
I think what they've done, they've not employed ray tracing because they've got to have that 60 frames, smooth, fluid, responsive.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I like the fact that the Miles Morales performance mode basically looks like the PS4 game. All the ray tracing's just turned off, and it's like, oh, it doesn't look that bad.
Have you seen the images of it with ray tracing on there? It looks incredible.
Yeah, no, I watched that. Yeah, I watched that video with the ray tracing on it. It's something else.
I'll probably play it. I'm quite happy with 30 frames a second. I'll play Assassin's Creed Odyssey in 30 frames. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, we all
have ray tracing on and have all the bells and whistles. I must say, you know, just because, you know, when you're zipping past a building, if you look left, I bet you can see your reflection.
Well, that's the thing about videos that I've seen of it so far running on PS5 is that I don't know if the quality on the buildings is that much improved, but it's because you're going past buildings so fast that you can't see if you would. You can't
No.
see yourself. A lot of people, admittedly, I've seen them more sort of like the Bronx area, so they're not in the city where it's all glass. But yeah, no, I mean, the Digital Foundry did a really good job on that video. I even appreciated the fact they started off with just the game loading, because I mean that is where you start any review for Spider-Man. Is let's see it load.
Yeah, Skill Up has reviewed it, and he was blown away by it. You know.
Yeah.
He's not looking at it from a techno point. He's just looking at this game is bloody amazing.
No, we knew it would be.
You know, it's nice to have some titles released that look next gen.
Digital Foundry said exactly the same thing. I thought that I've been saying, is that the game itself, not a true sequel. It's not like a proper sequel game. It's more like something along the lines of Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
They're very, very, very
I thought
enhanced that.
better than Uncharted 4. Yeah. Sorry, we've got a bit of a crop. I didn't realise how much of a delay there was between me chatting.
So let's end it here and look forward to the next couple of weeks, and hopefully.
So whatever console you're buying, good luck.
Yeah.
If you're getting an Xbox.
Yeah. Good luck. I hope you haven't got to go and pick it up from a shop. Hope you've all ordered it online. But
I did tell you, didn't I, that I managed to secure a pre-order for Kyle as well on Amazon.
Oh, did you get that one as well?
Yeah. And in the time it took me to have a phone call to inform him that I was going to let him have that, I then looked online again and they'd all gone.
Oh, no.
So I had a 5-minute phone call with him. I went back online to see if they were still available, and they'd been sold out.
Oh.
Now, I'm sure Amazon got another subsequent supplier. I've not received an email from them telling me I'm not getting it. It says it's coming on that day.
Yeah.
And Shop2 clarified with everything. So basically I've paid for everything apart from I'm getting some games from the game collection. So there's they're going to ship me. They've already shipped one game. They're going to ship me Godfall, Call of Duty, and Assassin's Creed in one hit. Yeah. And Phoenix Rising comes in from. I got that from Amazon because for an extra £2 you can get a limited edition Amazon special where you get extra shit.
Oh, right, cool.
I thought I'd go for that, you know.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, so maybe tomorrow or Monday I'll actually have an actual PS5 box, and it's Planet Coaster, and I can't wait for that game. Have you seen the videos of the console version? What they've done to the controls?
No, I haven't actually.
Seriously, go and watch the Planet Coaster videos because you might want to get it on PS4.
Yeah.
Because it's such a cool game. If you've got any love for the old theme park game from years ago,
yeah,
it is the best theme park game ever. You can get to ride every single ride in first person.
I was actually looking at the Turkish PSN store because of the sale that's on at the moment, and I noticed that Jurassic World Evolution was like £7.
That works really well on console.
Yeah, I thought about that. It's like, I wouldn't mind a bit of Dinosaur Park, maybe.
You know what they're going to do next? Planet Zoo will come out on the PS5, won't it? And the PS4.
Yes.
Planet.
Oh yeah. Did you ever play that? You got it, didn't you?
I got it, but I hardly played it. Yeah, I mean that's the trouble with the PC. I never turn it on really to play many games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love your cat.
The cat is determined to knock down the laptop.
So yeah, no, seriously, when you get a chance, they've done some videos on how they've implemented the controls in the console version. They've totally rewritten the game for consoles so that it's more intuitive. And then one of the developers, he actually said that he prefers using a controller now to create his theme parks rather than a mouse and keyboard.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Awesome.
it's it's dirt cheap. It's 35 quid.
I'll look at that. I will look at
Honestly,
that.
I reckon everyone check that out. I think that's going to be a bit of a sleeper hit, that game, and it only takes up 10 gig.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, as you create things, it will take up a bit more space, but
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having to
I'm going
give
to
the
be really
cat
careful
treat.
when I install that Call of Duty game. I'm going to make sure I only install. I might only just install the campaign to begin with. I need to keep my space reserved for all my other stuff I'm getting,
Yeah.
especially if I'm going to have to allocate 16 gig for No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
And I would like Observer as well because that's a good game. I played that, but I actually think there's going to be a lot of PS4 games that I will play on my PS5 with upgraded frame rates, like Days Gone. They're games that I'm like, no, I'm not going to bother trying to play them on PS4 now. I'm going to wait till the PS5 souped
I
up
think.
version comes.
I mean, personally, for me, I would say Call of Duty is not really the thing I'd be getting on my next gen console anyway. When I've got all these wonderful open world games to play, but
Well, I did see the video of the campaign. It looked amazing.
yeah.
The other thing I need to mention
Have you
is
bought that digitally or
no all discs.
physically? Good, yeah.
Also, one final thing, and I know you like Watch Dogs, but you could actually play Yakuza Like a Dragon from next week.
I know, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Do you know why?
It's a big game.
Well, no, actually, I did think about, Yakuza's out, and I thought, no, do you know, I don't think I could do it to you. I don't think I could literally. It's like I go, yeah, I'm just playing Yakuza Like a Dragon on my PS4 now.
No, I would love you to, because I know what will happen is I'll get it in March and I'll finish it, and you'll go, oh no, I only got halfway through it.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. So basically, my goal now is to sit through all these games and go through them. I've got a PS4 full of games that I want to play before I move over, and as I finish them, I'm deleting them. So basically, when the PS4's empty, I'm ready to move on.
All right. Well, I'll see you in 2022 then.
I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
I'm
no, you
getting
do
there.
really well.
Getting there.
Well, to
I've
take on
completed
something
quite a
like
few this game.
Watch Dogs is a big game, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be like I'm going to have so many things, but I actually think that I'm going to jump into probably. I think the game that's probably going to grab me will be Assassin's Creed.
Yes. No, I can see that
because I love
happening.
that so much.
Yeah, no, I can see that happening, definitely.
Hmm.
Definitely. Because Odyssey is so good. You know, Odyssey, I'd forgotten how good Odyssey was. And Odyssey is so good. And the add-ons to Valhalla, I like the new idea of the bird. You know, the bird isn't going to basically tell you everything you need to know about an encampment or something like that, you know, because it was.
Did you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey in discovery mode?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't put all the waypoints on there. You have to organically find them.
No, but when you use your bird over an encampment, it highlights all the soldiers and tells you their level. And in Valhalla, they've taken that out, so you can can fly the bird over. You can fly the bird over a camp, and it will tell you things like, here's a possible entry point. Here's this. It won't tell you anything about the soldiers.
Cool.
Because they thought it made it a little bit too. It was giving you too much information. So they've taken it, stripped it back a little bit to make you think more, how am I going to tackle this base? How am I going to get in? Where's an entry point? You know, where's the underground tunnel or something? Or
awesome.
Yeah, I think they're doing all the refinements I've seen them do all make sense.
Well, all we do know is that 2021 hopefully will be a better year for everyone.
Jesus God, I hope so.
Games, it's going to be an incredible year next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And there's still stuff that hasn't been confirmed that's coming out, like the Silent Hill reboot. We've got Resident Evil Village coming out maybe next year.
Well, that'll be out
Back
next year.
yeah. And one last point I'd like to end on is it's N7 Day tomorrow.
It is.
And have you heard all of the pretty much most of the voice cast from the trilogy are going to be at an N7 conference tomorrow, where we're hoping that the Mass Effect Legendary
pure coincidence. Pure coincidence that surely doesn't mean anything at all. Or they're about to drop the trilogy. How about they drop it next week or something like that? Boom.
Well, if they drop it for the release of the PS5 and there's a you can download it and play on PS5, then I'll be happy as Larry.
I still stick to my guns on this. I know it sounds crazy, but if they announce it and it's on Switch, I will buy it on Switch. I will literally. I think Mass Effect trilogy on Switch for me would be the best way for me to play it.
Yeah. If they say, yeah, we've got Mass Effect trilogy and there's real-time ray tracing, I'll be like, nah, I'm going to get that. They're not going to do that, though. By all accounts, the biggest problem they've had is with the first one, because that's the one that was the most broken.
Looking at EA's track record of doing remasters, and they haven't really got the hang of it.
Well, I'm worried. Now this Need for Speed Hot Pursuit's come out, and they've barely done anything to it. That does worry me.
Yeah, they're not in the levels of Capcom or Activision. I don't like Activision, but to be fair to them, those Crash Bandicoot and Spyro remasters they did of the trilogies are really, really, really good looking games.
Well, the rumors are that the combat that was really good in Mass Effect 3 has been ported across to 1 and 2.
1, yeah.
I'd have thought 1 and 2. Maybe, but I don't know.
The combat in 2 was, between 2 and 3, it was just like an improvement. From 1 to 2, it was an evolution. So I think they nailed it in 2 and they just refined on it in 3.
If they do announce it, I hope that the news is good for what they've done in terms of upscaling, and because there were a load of mods in the PC community that made even number 1 look amazing.
And also, though, just to point something out, EA announced all the next-gen upgrades for Star Wars Squadrons.
And PS4 isn't one. PS4 isn't getting one.
What?
Sorry, say that again.
Star Wars Squadrons, which is the current game, they're doing a patch to add, I can't remember what it is, but basically the PS5 is getting an enhanced version of Squadrons via a patch.
Well, I read that the PlayStation version is getting bugger all.
The Xbox version is getting more.
Right.
But the PS5 version is still getting a fairly sizable upgrade. I'm just looking it up.
Yeah. Well, I do own Maddens.
To be fair, I haven't really played. I don't
intend installing Maddens because it's not that good, really.
Things are much simpler on the PS5, which simply runs with improved lighting and the same resolution and frame rate as when playing Squadrons on the PlayStation 4 Pro.
That's probably to keep it in sync with the VR mode.
Yeah. The former will have better lighting. Oh, so on the Xbox Series X, you can have it running at better lighting and 2160p at 60 frames a second.
All right.
Or 2160p at 120 frames a second in performance mode.
Well, 120 frames a second is only good if you've got a telly that can do 120 hertz.
Yeah,
and there's no way I'm getting rid of my OLED that does 3D movies. I'm not bothered about 120 hertz.
I don't think that's a consideration until everyone goes 8K anyway. So
yeah, I think that's way off for me. I'm gonna be quite happy with 60 FPS 4K for a long time.
I'm gonna try and move this and show you something. Hang on, can you see my computer screen?
Just about, yeah. Oh yeah, what's that?
Someone's got their Yakuza Like a Dragon a days early.
Is that you?
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think we'll call it a day.
call it a day there, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks with new toys. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I will need you to bring my food and toilet paper round to me if I'm, shielding.
Well, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, mate.
All right. Well, we'll see you all later. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget to watch the videos I've uploaded of my shenanigans on the Division 2 if you're bored.
And I actually need to record some videos because every time I do something on Watch Dogs, I go, oh, I should have recorded that, and I forget to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Just hit
Take
the
care,
button.
everyone.
Saves it.
Wash your hands, protect your controllers, save your games.
Yeah. Make sure I'll have a pair of rubber gloves for you when you come around to try out my PS5, all right?
There's nothing new there. That's always what you do.
Yeah.
So that's fine. All right. See you later.